hopping directly into NA West. Each one of these regions, you have a 3-hour time slot to get the matches done, or 10 matches total to accumulate as many points as possible. Now, taking a look at our current in-game leaders, Bala, a couple of names we recognize on there.
Oh, yes.
Forces the player back into the storm. Will somebody else get the tag and be able to close out? That player utilizing the dualies, he is able to pick it up. The Elim onto IPF2M. Will he be able to get back into the storm? 24, 12, 4. Trying to look for the other player. Should have just got yourself into the storm. You had impulses to get yourself there, and you miss out on top 25, 26 points because of it. Not necessarily saying it was guaranteed, but now you see the ballers rotating through there. 1, 2, 3, 4, trying to get through as Hey E-Girls is able to pick up a nice Elim, adding up to his
zones that we talked about so much already. Here's DXN looking for an elimination on the side of zone.
There's so many ballers just lining up directly for him as the players are trying to desperately find him. The Asma is actually able to pick up Possum as DXN is able to put down a trap, catching players as he rotates. 43, not a good connection there from that epic pump, trying to find something more, just firing off shells. Baller end up coming in, shots coming in from behind as he's taking chunk damage. Player pops out of the baller, but unfortunately it takes a little bit to act. ATAV is back to lobby, 12th place, so does pick up 5 placement points. Dixon gonna drop into the baller there, just kind of reacquisitioning that, saying thank you, free real estate, you leave it here for a half second, that's mine. Using that to get up to the high ground. Young God boxing himself in, trying to find some space.
I saw the
Raise suppress SMG is going to be hurting, just needs to connect wherever he can, as long as he's accurate, trying to get the edit out.
Nice.
No problem there. Will he upgrade into the loot? Doesn't have time as he gets ripped up into the sky. 8 players remaining, Baller. 3, 4 up there, all holding their parachutes.
4 up there, 4 down below. 1 actually goes down, so there's only 3 down there now. They're all waiting. They're all trying to bait exactly for everybody to come down.
And now this is, we've talked about this before, the player on ultimate high, as the circle gets this low, he's able to layer out the traps, and then the players, as they fall down, have to kind of swing out towards the side, but it's very predictable. DXN is able to get down a bunch of damage on all 4 of this place. 168 pump comes down, an even better 168 on the Prefix who, no, it was not Prefix who falls, excuse me, he got OMG Extreme from the Storm Tech. Now it's Young God on the middle tarp, Ryanator on the ultimate low, Kiratex 1 above him, Dixon holding high ground. This is your final 4. Everyone has gotten all the placement points except the victor. It's all about Elims and the W here.
Yeah, Kytrex trying to put a little bit of pressure there, but Young God's going to just outlast everybody on high ground right now. Let them all fight. No, actually, he's mid ground, sorry.
It's DXN is 1 tarp above him right now. Young God trying to keep up enough space. He wants to be able to drink that mini, but not necessarily going to be worth. Yeah, this is a risky decision. Not giving up the circle, trying to find where the other people are. 52. Yeah, but Ryanator is going to get the health back on the Elim, and Young God was able to find him. DXN didn't get the heal off, so it actually ended up working out for Young God. So what had happened is Ryanator got the Elim on the low ground, and rather than just staying and heal out, he opted to challenge because he's like, oh, I should have gotten this. Young God with the extra HP he ends up getting and sitting on the campfire.
Now he's going to go pressure this player who got near him.
Yeah, he owns the wall, and then he goes for the door edit rather than instant replacing the player. Then opts to get out the side, use the launch pad, disengage from the situation, recognizing he was a poor save, but Oasis doesn't care. He's going to chase him down anyway. Axel Gamers, who was on our Elim board, is now back in the lobby, and Oasis doesn't even give him a chance to breathe.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oasis
is actually able to pick up another one, so there's 4 players all in 3 boxes on top of each other. It's really hard to keep track of this ownership. As a player gets dropped down, Will Daffy has to be able to convert. Yes, he does. Wave goes down there, and a good conversion from him, able to utilize the tools at hand in a pretty aggressive loadout here.
Yeah, I really like his need to go up.
Yeah, it's very important to maintain control over those walls, because if somebody has a heavy sniper, a way to quick break through, or is even just hitting it, and just like we talked about, dropping right into the box, 66 damage headshot, no problem there. That's 7 Sin underrated by.
That's some of the best close quarters play, such tight quarters, especially with the zone bearing down on you like this. He does manage to get the zone. As it
in corner, 26 players remaining. Remember, 25th threshold is one you want to look at. Will Oasis be able to find it? That would be a clutch elimination there, netting him 4 in total. And there it goes as Double A ends up falling to the Storm. That is one of the recent changes. Elim credit goes over to the player who has most recently tagged you if you do end up having environmental damage clean you up.
He tried to go for any mats that he could pick off of that Elim, but I don't think he got anything, because it looked like he still only had 22 builds, and he's spending a lot. Unfortunately, that's not even going to matter.
Yep, did not cover his back, as Jackie White had no issue. Cluzy is now directly underneath him. Jackie White taking the high ground, having a big health advantage. You see MXC on ultimate low, just call me Pug directly above him, but Trenty is going to push onto MXC, and he goes down. 22 players remaining.
Yeah,
but only has 49 builds as well, but he also doesn't want to draw attention to himself as the player rotates through. Baron saw right where he was, but didn't end up firing anything off. Stearns trades out a great shot, raises directly behind him. He needs to pay attention to the players who are trying to rotate behind. He knows they're there now. Will he decide he's trying to occupy the bush for a second? And he grits a great shot out with the flintlock. A bunch of HP back there. He desperately needed that. Will he be able to find another top 12 now? Everyone is sitting on 5 points from their placements and whatever elims they got. Whose Magic picks it out. Stearns, great shot on Traumatic there to push himself into the top 10 and instantly from a 12 HP scenario back up to 162 and max.
And he have materials exactly sundown. Now that he has the materials, he can start to build out this layer and start to control. But look how many players are left. This zone is so small. 303 Sin actually loses the high ground to Brandon, but somebody else is fighting for it as well.
Yeah, and you have slowly on ultimate low. Stearns trying to work out that side. PS also still in there. Brandon is able to pick up another elim right there. He was our elim leader when we dropped him. He was on 5. He's close to 6 or 7 now. But Stearns is going to pick up Tomei as right after Tomei picks up Jackie. So that extra health not giving an advantage. But you see Steens able to utilize this flintlock to get up on the building. And he gets a high ground behind him. Will he put this combo to use? Will he be able to execute and finish it off? But instead he gets Styx gone as he's rotating up. Styx did get the top 5, but will he close it out?
So good with the launch pad here, using it at the perfect time as it goes right back over this hill. He's going to be able to take high ground, but Brandon is fighting for it. He's not going to let it go just too quickly here. But Steens, what a great play with the flint knock so far. He's going to reload that. And now at the high ground as well, he could use this oh my goodness, takes out slowly from the sky.
And this is all with a green pump too. It is not a rare, it is not an epic, it is not a legendary. He is making it work with the green pump and the gray flintlock. It is Steens who has taken over this lobby. Oh no, he was able to catch himself. Luckily, that is one of the things we talked about with the replay client. One of the more common things we're working on, that little catch up, but he was able to catch himself, not quite flintlocking himself off into the abyss. The previous elim leader, Brandon, I think he's just slightly ahead of Steens now, but Steens has definitely had the momentum. 1v1 situation here. He's a box above him. He's looking to try and find an angle. Now, he does have the stronger 1-2 punch with the pump into the flintlock, but Brandon is going to have more pressure with the higher rate of fire weapon. Brandon looking to find an angle. Steens gets the edit, doesn't quite find where he is. Who is going to shoot first? Who is going to feel the pressure as Steens puts down the AR shots? He sees the campfire for the extra health.
I think Brandon knows that Steens took a little bit of fall damage there, but finally Steens is going to start to preemptively build. A nice shot out from Brandon as finally Steens find the opportunity to build that box for him and maybe go for the edit play as soon as Brandon recognizes that out from the storm and takes a nice pump shot to win the game there.
Great finish. Yeah, they want to try and find those eliminations like we've talked about. We've seen all the other leaderboards. It comes down to the difference of a couple points or a tiebreaker, so every one of those elims ends up mattering. And that's what we were talking about, Frico, making sure he owns those walls, catching player as they rotate through, saw the player coming through, had it lined up. Here's the rift, go off above him. 33 players remaining, knows there's a player on the other side of the wall as they're trying to pressure through. 19 players remaining. Everyone here has gotten 3 of those placement points. They're looking now for top 15 or whatever elims they can get as No Rest picks up Blue Shot. Zumba picks up Tazume. Seems like there was a little love lost there, and another great elim. And again, this is the low ground, back of the circle, Bala.
Yeah, the back of the circle. You find so many players on the edge right now, especially with the amount of players.
High ground now away from No Rest, and as the circle closes in, particularly towards the peak, it's going to be more important now. He does have the redeploy, which is going to benefit him a lot. Swapping over to that rare suppressed SMG. Nice elim there. You really want to try and get down to some of those mats.
Let these players fight on low ground. Look for shots if I want to. If it's very obvious that I can find the elimination, like possibly this one. No, yes, he is going to find it. But he has that glider redeploy, and if players don't realize that he's all the way up there, he can spend as much time as possible. And now he's going to start waterfalling down, and again, Cloud absolutely going down to Fireko. He's going to continue his reign from above.
Yeah, so just keeping that ultimate high ground. We've talked about it now as Destroyer is finally forced out of that ball. He's rotating around completely safe. It means he's going to have a ton of mats, but it doesn't matter if you have a ton of mats if you can't execute on it. Riley picking him up there for his 5th elim and to push him in the top 5. So that's a clean 12 points earned from him. 7 placement points for everyone who's left. As you hear the launch pad go off as well, it's going to be difficult. Who's on that ultimate high is going to challenge him right away. Frico just gets dropped. He wasn't ready, didn't fire a shot back. Riley now has ultimate high and basically control over this lobby as he decides when he wants to drop down and fight.
Yeah, you'll see these players starting to contest him a little bit on high ground. This is so important. If this fight goes the opposite way for Riley, or if it goes too long, he's going to waste too much. And now he has to make sure he's going to back up and start pressuring as this zone starts to move in an opposite direction that they were expecting. You can see starting to tunnel a little bit on there.
Yeah, and the player on that mid-ground tarp is actually very comfortable to be there, not often trying to be taken. Instead, just tarping off that whole level, closing off the storm, and then dropping down to take whatever is on the low ground. As you see now, Riley looking down, and he's just going to be able to clean that up, no problem. Yeah. Josh was able to get Grant and GG, and then Riley picks up Josh, just maintaining high ground control. Nice 7 elim victory royale for him, 17 points, and he's flexing a little bit of that dance right there. Just
cleaning up from the high ground. Placements right now.
Yeah, and now we see Psychic and Thwifo and Johnny all right up there at 21 points. Now, just a reminder, NA West was able to begin queuing up at right around 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific. So we're going through, we're about an hour and 40 minutes into their queuing time, and then we'll wrap up towards the end. But Psychic, Thwifo, Johnny at the top, Branded, Enigmafy, Branded, who we saw in the last match, YNG Cold, Takata, Tracer, Hitman Ice, and then fourth Thief or IV Thief, not sure which one that goes through, rounding out the top 10, and then the backside right there, Ball. Who do we got from 10th to 20th?
Yeah, unlocalized on top of this page is 11th. He's actually, look, this entire page is 16 all the way down to Diggy, who finally has 15, but there's Kaizui as well down at the bottom. Rux, who was second place in the Scallywag competition with Pika, his duo last week. Little again, coming from NA East. I said he was impressive. Here he is in NA West playing so well again.